podcast where we talk about all things romantic comedy, but mostly the bad ones. I'm Haley.
I'm Zach.
I'm Eddie P.
And today we are watching a movie together. So you know what that means.
It's a hot take.
Ooh, that was sexy.
But also violently unsexy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's the name of the Ted Bundy movie.
Sexy, but also violently unsexy.
Violently unsexy, disgustingly horned.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to watch the 2010 rom-com, She's Out of My League. How can a 10 go for a 5 is the tagline on the poster. Yeah.
What? Oh, that's not, I mean, that is like a lot of difference in terms of attractiveness, but not really. Like, he's not a 2.
Yeah, and also, I don't think Jay Baruchel's that ugly.
Right, yeah.
I think he's a cutie.
He's like a 7. I don't know what.
Yeah, he's cute.
He's cute. Like an 8. I would.
Yeah, he's cute.
Let's all go around and say if they would.
He's got that funny voice. Oh, I'm Jay Baruchel.
You want to play hockey? That's Adam Pally's impression.
Should we just animate this? I don't know. I'm trying to do a Jay Baruchel
Are there any
impression.
Dragons.
I got a voice. Nope.
He's got a nice Ohio accent. Where's Jay Baruchel from?
Let's
Canada?
find out.
Probably
He's
Canada.
he's Canadian,
He's
yeah.
Canadian.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. He's Canadian. From Ottawa.
Ottawa, the state
out.
where you get your maple candies.
Ooh, ooh, come to Ottawa. We
And
have maple candies.
So, let's talk, guys. I mean, we know we're going to watch this movie, but I feel like we should just, like, check in with each other.
What are we on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like, attractive-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an 11. I am so hot.
I'm in New York, 6.5.
Uh-huh.
I'm in LA, 3.5. And I'm everywhere else, 8.
Right.
That's like a really honest evaluation of yourself, but I feel like... yeah, that was, like, really honest.
Yeah. I'm a semicolon and an open parentheses, so it's a winky frown. It's not on the scale. It's bad.
You guys are both cute boys. What is this?
Hey, man. We
Look.
know our worth.
I don't know. Rating is weird.
Oh, can you tell us who directed this movie?
Yes, Jim Field Smith.
Oh, great.
He, do we know
Love
who that
his
is?
work.
He is a British man, I think. Yeah, he's a British bitch.
He's directed some of episodes. The what's it called?
Is it
Yeah, and that's basically
Is
it.
that the Ricky Gervais thing?
Yes.
And it was written by...
No, Matt LeBlanc. I'm thinking of No, am I thinking of Extras?
No, you're right. Extras is Ricky Gervais.
Episodes was Matt
LeBlanc.
which is supposed to be quite good.
I heard here. Yes.
So the guy who wrote this, along with someone else, wrote Horrible Bosses 2.
I liked
But
it.
Sex
not
Drive.
the first one.
Yeah, not the
Yeah,
first
I like
one.
Sex Drive.
Yeah, that one's funny.
Sex Drive is remind
It's
me.
James Marsden. He's not like
Is there like a taco mascot?
there is. Yeah,
thing?
yeah. It's the guy driving to like Texas or something to like have sex with someone he met online.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. It's like
No,
a good,
James
it's
Marsden's
a
really
fun-
funny in that
Yeah,
too.
it's like a
'cause he's
funny road trip
character.
movie. Fall Out Boy is in it as themselves.
Great.
I liked it. It's funny.
Okay.
Are there
Seth
Amish
Green
people
is
in
super
it?
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they break down to like an Amish place, and then Fall Out Boy also broke down there, so they like perform a show for them. But Seth Green's character is like really sarcastic to everyone.
Yeah.
So he's talking to them, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, good 5-song set. It really makes it worth all the hours we put in fixing your van. Totally worth it. Thank you guys."
He also co-wrote Hot Tub Time Machine and Mr. Popper's Penguins and We're the Millers and
I like We're the Millers.
Do you guys remember
Dumb
that,
and Dumber 2.
that line in 30 Rock when I think it's Tracy, if I could be wrong, is like, he talks about how he doesn't like Hot Tub Time Machine. And he's like, it's not the time machine stuff. It's the hot tub. It's not hot as soon as you turn it on. I should know. I've been in a hot tub 2 times.
Pretty funny. So in this movie, we've got Jay Baruchel, Alice Eve, Mike Vogel, TJ Miller.
Mike Vogel.
The Vogelcast?
Welcome back to the Vogelcast,
Oh,
everybody.
Surprise episode of the Vogelcast. Ooh, it's been a while.
Etc.
Some would say too long. Some would say
To the
not
point
enough
that
time.
I don't remember what movie we started
Not
that
at
with.
all.
I think it was I don't remember.
It
Truly no clue.
wasn't- it-
Rumor has it? Who would he have been?
I think it was
yes,
Rumor Has
he
It.
was the son. He was
Jennifer Aniston's
the no.
Oh,
he was BB's
Kevin Costner's
Costner's son.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like most of our listeners do not remember this callback.
That was episode 5, you guys.
Wow.
Oof.
Wow, we've come so
We've
far.
grown so little.
Yeah, we're worse people. That being said, why don't we just dive in? And,
Heck yeah.
See what we get. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, guys. We're doing a hot take for the 2010 hit? Question mark. She's out of my league.
It was like a bunt hit.
We just watched the first 25 minutes, and what's going on, guys?
So Jay Baruchel, who is Kirk. Kirk is his name.
Kirk Kettner. Ugh, that's a movie name.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So he's a TSA officer with his friends, TJ Miller, and
Was that Mike Vogel? I don't even know what Mike Vogel looks like, except I think he's that attractive. He's an attractive man.
maybe he didn't show up yet.
No, because there were the 4 friends.
I think he's one of the
He's
friends.
the
I think
hot
he's
one.
the not chubby one and the not TJ Miller one.
Oh yeah, he hasn't come back in a while.
No, and I don't know. Okay, so he's got these 3 friends and they suck.
They're
They all
bad.
work TSA.
Remember in They Came Together, like when he's playing basketball with those separate friends that represent different ideologies. It's them. There's
Yeah.
like the super romantic one. There's like the intellectual one, and then there's like TJ Miller.
Asshole
Yeah.
whose name's Stainer.
Stainer.
Even worse.
I hope we find out why his name's Stainer.
Because he
And,
stained his poop pants, probably.
He pooped in his poop pants.
And Alice Eve plays Molly. She goes to the airport and all the guys are just so incredibly creepy to her.
Yeah, you
She's
keep
blonde.
hearing boing, 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 boing.
Basically,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, they're all really just like unprofessional and gross.
But before we meet who will be the leading lady of this film, Jay Baruchel's character is like still desperately in love with this girl Marnie who broke up with him like 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago.
And it's this weird situation where like she's like, I think it's really cool that your family basically like adopted me since my family sucks, but I'm still friends with your family even though we're not dating. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. I still love you. And she's like, I don't care. I have a boyfriend and we're all going on vacation together without you.
Yeah, she's bad.
Yeah.
And all of this is meant to be comedic, but it's mostly just a little confusing and it's like sad.
It is confusing, and it is, you are right. If this were a real thing, this is sad.
Yeah.
And the mom from that 70s show
Oh, Deborah Jo Rupp.
Yeah.
is his mom. I just like her.
Yeah, she's great.
I mean, I don't think she's going to be like good enough in this movie for it to
No.
matter. I just like her.
Yeah, she does not seem like she'll be a big part. But hey, good for Deborah Jo.
And we could be wrong.
Yeah.
All those
Yes.
people, there's
She
someone out there.
becomes the love
Yeah.
interest.
There's someone out there who's seen this movie and they're like, oh, these people don't know what's up through their sleeves.
Debbie Jo.
She becomes the romantic lead.
Yeah.
She's not out of his league.
Yeah. So Molly, she is sexy. She's blonde. Basically, that's really the only thing that makes her sexy. She's blonde.
No,
she
she's
is
an attractive woman.
person, but like it also just feels so like I don't know, drawing of a hot woman. We're like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's conventional.
Conventional.
attractiveness.
She's
Conventional.
a conventional attractiveness.
yes. No, she's cute. She's cute. She's got some strange teeth.
No, it's nice. It's very wide. She has a very wide mouth, which is scary to me. But
So
she
that's
has-
hot.
No. It's like if she's probably part shark, and
Ooh.
so she could eat all of us if she wanted to, and so that's scary. But
Yeah, I'll
is
take
it?
Her best friend is Patty, played by Kristen Ritter of our first ever episode, What Happens in Vegas.
Yeah,
Man,
baby.
I like Kristen Ritter, and
She's
I
great.
like how she always plays the same role of just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
bitch.
She was another best friend in the film we watched too, right?
She was.
and she was like the same character.
She's always just like a bitch, like
Yeah.
a capital B. The
I
B
could be
in
just
apartment
might
23.
be confusing her with Zoe Deschanel in Fairly
You
Odd.
are.
Yeah, but also, Yeah, I think she was nicer in What Happens in Vegas, but remember...
The smaller role.
I think we were talking about how she and Zooey Deschanel kind of flip-flopped and how she used to be a little nicer and now she's mean, whereas Zooey Deschanel used to be mean and now she's quirky. Anyway, that's
besides the point.
Besides the point.
So Molly goes through TSA. Everyone's real creepy to her except Jay Baruchel, who's like, hey, my boss, played by, what's his name?
Oh, Andy Daly.
By Andy Daly. Stop trying to feel up this girl just because you're TSA, basically.
Really, yeah, fucked up.
Real fucked up. And
but also topical? Anyway, go on.
Yeah, kind of. This should always be topical, but alas, here we are.
It should be until it's not. Until we're like, oh, cool, glad people don't do that anymore.
Right, yeah.
So she leaves her phone at security. She's going to New York, but she's like, hey, can you just hold on to my phone? I'm going to be back tomorrow. Meet me at the Andy Warhol Museum where there's this rockin' party.
Oh, so that was the next day. For some reason, I thought that he went that night to New York.
No, the Andy Warhol Museum is in Pittsburgh, famously.
I've only been to Pittsburgh once.
Well, you should have gone to the Andy Warhol Museum. It's pretty
With
cool.
my dad, we would not have done that.
What did you do?
You saw the Steelers play.
Yeah, we saw the Steelies.
You waved your terrible towel.
Yeah. No, we went to, I want to say the waterfront. There's like water, right? A river.
Probably. Most major cities have.
Like a warehouse sort of thing that became sort of a cool thing. I don't know.
I was in Pittsburgh for like 6 hours and we went to the Andy Warhol Museum.
Neither your stories have impressed me.
Okay, cool.
All right, well, that's the end of this week's episode.
So he goes to the party to return the phone and she's really hot and like... we're getting some signs that she's into him, like a little bit. He's not seeing it, but all of his friends are like...
She also just seems like a friendly person.
Yeah, she seems like a nice girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she says like, hey, we got 2 extra hockey tickets for the Penguins.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
The Penguins.
The Pittsburgh Pengies, if you want to come tomorrow. Yeah, and then she turns into a penguin. And then everyone's scary. Like, whoa, she's so hot.
She's still out of your league.
Penguin.
So Jay Baruchel goes to the hockey game with Stainer, aka TJ Miller. Ugh. And he's under the impression that she was just like giving him tickets and she's not actually going to be there. But then she shows up and it turns out this thing is a fucking double date with her and Kristen Ritter.
She's trying to set Kristen Ritter up with Stainer.
Yeah.
Neither of them are having it, which means that they're going to get together soon.
Maybe. Or maybe Mike Vogel will hop back in.
Oh, no, the romantic friend, I think. Like the chubby one. I think maybe he's got a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Discount, what's his name?
Discount Nick Swartzen.
Yeah.
Also, discount
Sam's
Dan
Club.
Fogler, discount...
Rob Corddry.
Oh, even. Discount Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Discount, like dollar store Josh Gad.
Yeah, like dollar store Josh Gad. That's a great name for him. His whole thing is he's like, I'm the romantic friend. And he's like, oh, you guys are going to meet and it's going to be like Aladdin and she's your Princess Jasmine.
Yeah, what a weird...
Which is a random movie to pick.
It's also, I don't know, a little racially strange. I don't know, pick another movie.
I also want to point out this movie is very white.
Yes.
Very white,
I thought it was interesting that none of his friends were anything but white. I thought that was an odd choice. Like, he's got 3 friends, and like, I don't know. It just felt like they're all a very similar brand of white guy.
What is Pittsburgh in terms of diversity?
Is it? It's a city, so I feel like it's got to be.
Yeah, a city in Pennsylvania.
I don't know. I feel like at that point, it's even like even if that's the case, you don't have to make it so. Like it's a movie.
No,
you know?
I'm not saying
even at
it's
the airport,
good.
I don't think I saw a black person.
It just feels weird that I'm like, none of the 6 leads so far are anything but white.
Right. They're Canadian. They're more white.
So I pulled up the ethnicities of Pittsburgh, and we've got the top ones are German, Italian, Hispanic, and Latino, but that's just like one area. And then the rest is Polish, Austrian, Belgian, Czech. So very white.
Yeah. But you're making
Very
a movie.
white city.
Don't do that. Don't make them all white.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels like something just like easy. Like just don't do it.
One.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they had their waitress friend who found dollar store Josh Gad attractive. Remember at the Andy Warhol Museum? She was like,
vaguely.
"Hey, Freckles," and then she like smacked his butt, and then she like stuck her finger.
Paraphrasing, but yeah. All right, yeah. So never mind. This is a beacon of diversity. So we're gonna
Good for them.
So we're gonna keep watching this diverse film.
and we'll be back after we've learned a bit more about different cultures. It's gonna be cute. It's a hot take.
Bye. Oh, good. We're back.
It's a hot take.
Okay, so one thing that I can say for the second portion of the movie that I couldn't say for the first is that I did laugh a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
In the first half hour, I meant to say it during our first segment. I didn't laugh once.
Yeah, it was pretty silent in here.
It was just like, like you could tell when they were making jokes, but they weren't even like, it wasn't even so much that they were like terribly cringy. It was just like, it's not funny.
It was like a nothing thing.
Yeah, whereas this, there were a few moments, where I did laugh, whereas even though that's true, the number of jokes made are not equal to the amount of times I laugh.
Right, yeah, the ratio is
they don't have a good batting average.
So, what happens? They go on their first date after the hockey game together.
Right. And he's dressed as a waiter.
Well, he's not dressed as a waiter.
No. I was going to finish the sentence. He's dressed up the same way as the waiters are in the restaurant,
Yeah, so
which is kind
everybody.
of silly.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny scene. But because people kept giving him orders and stuff.
I think the big thing to take away here is that people put him down a lot. People are not very nice to him just based off the bat.
And there's that hot guy who showed up, and he was like, "You're with him?
We used to date, me and Hot Molly.
Hey, I used to slip it in there."
They have their first kiss.
Not my
Oh,
friend.
God.
They have their first kiss.
Yeah, in the car
And,
after the first
it's
date.
great. And then he takes Molly to meet his family. And that's a
that's
a shock to her
weird.
system.
And she handles it better than Jay Baruchel handles it.
She knocks it out of the park. He is like, his whole family, of course, like
Embarrassed.
the two guys, Ron and Jay Baruchel's brothers, are just like ogling her and making disgusting remarks.
Mm-hmm.
The parents love her, but are doing a similar thing where they're like, "She's great. What's she doing with you?"
Yeah, you fucking ugly guy.
And the women are jealous
Ooh, they are
and
jealous.
intimidated.
Yeah. And there's the whole like early 2000s thing where it's like, ooh, she's a hot because they were like in the swimming pool and they're like, hop in. And she's like, oh, I don't have a suit. And it's like, how about just, how about your underwear? That's fine. Ha ha. And she's like, underwear would be fine if I were wearing any. Ooh, hot.
If this were the trailer and she said that, somebody would look at someone else, their eyebrow would go up, and it would go ding. And then the music would start.
Reminds me of the Family Guy joke where Peter and Lois are having dinner, and she's like, "By the way, Peter, I'm not wearing any underwear." And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. We can just throw out that chair." He's like, "Yeah, that's gross. Put on underwear."
Gross.
Yeah, why is that a hot thing? And then Marnie, the girl that he wanted to date, who like is still friends with the family, changes clothes and she's wearing a sexy dress and has like a ton of makeup on and she's like, I'm not wearing underwear, and everyone's like,
And all the
ew.
boys are like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, not wearing underwear is pretty weird.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah.
But they get through that, and it's okay, and they go back to her apartment, and they're having some wine, listening to some music, and things are getting PG-13.
Making out. And Jay Baruchel's like, oh, can you slow down? And she's like, no. And then he comes his pants.
Cakes his pants.
There's no other way to say it. Yeah, he just,
Cakes those boys.
well, not that type of podcast, but
But that's what happened in the movie.
He prematurely just slip.
Boing. I don't know what the sound of
Cracko!
Ew.
clink, clink, clink.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
what it
not pay
sounds
attention
like.
during health class.
Boy, I have a medical disorder.
As he comes early, the doorbell rings and she's like, Dad? And apparently her whole family showed up, which, what?
It was their apartment, and they were out of town, and I guess she was looking after that apartment, but I guess they came home or something.
It was her apartment. They were just taking care of the dog.
Oh, well, then maybe they came to
She was
collect
just
the
taking care of-
dog.
yes.
I don't care.
I know.
Yeah.
He doesn't get up to shake the dad's hand,
Because he's got...
which was a good
Jizz
cringe
on his
moment because the
hands.
guy's
Right, yeah.
like, so-and-so, nice to meet you. And he's like, won't stand up. And I'm like, ugh.
What did he say? He was like, no,
He's like,
no,
can't
thank
do
you.
it.
yeah. He reached his hand and just like, no. That's a little funny. I mean, in a pretty gross scene.
And then I don't want to say what the dog did.
So we won't.
I mean, we're gonna say it, and we're not gonna like
He
it.
licks the cum pants.
Yeah, the spot.
I have to
Licks, licks.
Real gross.
Which is pretty gross, and Jay Baruchel's embarrassed and, like, stands on the couch and runs out.
Yeah. The next day, all his TSA friends know all about it, and they're giving him the old rib around.
Yeah. And then the romantic one is like, who cares? Yeah, because she hasn't answered any of his calls after that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marnie is like, you want to get back together because another girl likes you?
likes you.
And Marnie's like,
And he's like, no.
yeah, Marnie's just trying to get in there. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. And what else happened? Are we missing a plot point?
No, there was that 45-minute long scene where they played hockey in the basement.
Oh my God, that was...
Yeah, that took up most of this time. You are correct.
Yeah.
Whoever
so
plays the
long.
brother is so good at playing these like fucking doof
Yeah.
assholes. He's
What's
done it.
this guy's name?
I don't know, but
been
he's
in so many
played
things.
that character so many times,
Yeah.
and he nails it every time. He's so good at it.
I hope he's nice in real life.
Yeah, he must be if he keeps getting this
Right,
work,
yeah.
or he's that good.
Is that him?
Yeah. Can you read off
Yes.
some of his credits? Because I know he's in something.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, playing house, worst week.
He's in Brooklyn. That's what he is. He's Amy's like ex-boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's mostly what I know him from. But yeah,
Smaller role than I thought. Like, he seemed more familiar to me.
I mean,
Huh.
he's definitely been in things, and every time you see him, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
yeah, he's good at playing a slimy schlubby
Yeah, a slimy schlubby.
Yeah, that's the...
musical guest, slimy schlubby, and your host. Alice Eve doing an American accent.
Oh, yeah.
Hello,
Let's talk
it's
about that.
me.
Her British accent is popping in the weirdest ways.
It gets weirdly like the pink ladies in Greece every now and then.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every now and then she'll just like say, yeah, you got to try that. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
No!
It's
And no, it sounds weirdly like one of the pink ladies every now and then.
Yeah, it's just button in there.
Pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like, you can tell she's so British because she like holds her mouth like a British person. Like
There's just tea pouring out of her mouth constantly.
out of her nose.
Oh, just, it is messy.
Yeah.
He
and
takes her hand at one point and it crumbles like a scone.
yeah, she has a keep calm and carry on tattoo on her forehead. It's so obvious.
Oh, it's obvious.
Come on,
Yeah.
dialect coach.
The pink lady comparison is perfect. She just once in a while she'll be like, you gotta try that.
Yeah, it's not English slipping out. It's like a very typical like TV American accent that like
Yeah.
isn't real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like in old timey musicals, like where it's like hot girls like waiting for sailors at the shore. You know?
Yeah,
One interesting thing that I think has not been brought up, because I can't decide if I'm like, is she being with him for some kind of alternative reason or what's going on?
Yo, go on.
I was just going to say, but I mean, they did talk about earlier on how Kristen Ritter's like, you never date these type of guys. And she's like, I don't know. I like them.
He's nice. I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything.
Well, I don't know, because she
Even
is
hidden.
avoiding that question. He was like, why are you with me? And she was like, I don't know.
That's what I
She said
thought.
he's nice and he makes me laugh. I don't think
yeah,
there's
but
any
that's not
ulterior
like a-
motive
My
here.
thought, not even so much, I think my thought is more like in the third, in this last third of the movie that we're about to watch. Excuse me, I'm not getting emotional. I just had something in my throat.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
he
gross.
is crying.
Okay, fine.
Tea.
And in this last third, like who's going to do the screw up that needs to get fixed?
Right,
Him or her?
right.
Is my point.
Well, right now he's in the screw up.
And I think it's more his story, so I think he will be the one who screws up.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like she's going to have to earn him back. That would feel like,
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, because that was my thought. I was like, if she has to earn him back, it's because like something's going to be revealed or misconstrued or
Right.
something.
Like she's like, oh, I'm dating you for your money, which is not the case, but
Because she has money.
If she
has
has
so
money.
much
I
money.
don't think it's going to be anything on her end.
I don't think so either.
I think he'll probably like
Well,
make
because
too
it's
big
so
a deal of her
poorly
being.
written.
I think he'll. Blah, blah, blah. I think he'll probably make too big a deal of her like being pretty and fuck it up that way, and won't treat her like a normal person. You
At one
know.
point, he'll be like, "Are you British? Why would you hide that from me?"
I can't even trust you anymore.
Oh, we also forgot to mention that the Jay Baruchel's family invited her and him on this family trip that he previously wasn't invited to.
Yeah.
To where is Branson? What is
I have
that?
no idea. We'll find
sounds
out.
awful.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun trip, but
So
we'll
far,
find out.
yeah, his family sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go see if maybe they find out that the 10 they were looking for all along was a good hot family.
I hated
The friends
that.
they made along the way.
Yeah, this will be great. We're gonna finish this movie. It's the Meet Cute. It's a hot take.
Hot take.
We'll be right back. I didn't like this.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched it. There were characters and lines and stuff.
Yeah, there were. It was good in that there were characters.
Yep. And that they were doing things.
Yeah,
And that it was technically a movie.
there was never a moment where everyone was cast. You know what I mean? Like, there was never a moment where they're just talking to someone, but it's just like no one's there.
And you know what I liked about it? Lines were being said, and their mouths were moving along with the lines, so they were speaking them.
And what's cool is that I guess it's called like, they had like cuts where it's like one person will speak and then they'll show you the next person speaking. Like, It's not just on Jay Baruchel the entire time, no matter what's, even when he's sleeping and like other things are going on that we need to see. Which is great. All jokes aside.
Where did we leave off? We left off, where?
Beginning of the air show.
Right. He came in his pants.
Right.
And that was it.
And so the way this was resolved was he literally just told her.
Yep. And she laughed.
Yeah, because she thought that he was just being a dick to her family.
But like, what? I don't know. How would you have reacted? I'm looking at Haley.
Me?
If Zach were like, cakes. I don't want to. I don't.
I don't like this. Honestly, probably like that. I don't know.
Okay, but
yeah, I feel like this was realistic in that way.
Yeah, that was like a real excuse.
It's kind of funny, and it's better than just like your parents sucked, and I didn't want to be nice to them.
Right.
So you go to the air show. Her ex-boyfriend Cam is there, and he's like, "I'm gonna win her back. Good thing you're gay."
Yeah,
and he's making a lot of off-color gay.
It wasn't even like mean. It was just like. He was like, give me a hug, man. That's tolerance.
Yeah, well, it was just like, obviously, like ignorance more than It was one of those things where we're like, funny.
Yeah, and he was like, Mike Vogel, you shouldn't be. He was like, Jay Baruchel, don't be hanging with these guys. They're ugly, except you, Mike Vogel. The rest of these guys suck. Get a hotter boyfriend.
Mike, what do you think?
Fair.
It's me, Mike Vogel. It's pretty good. It was nice working with Jay Baruchel. Just happened to be
That's
there.
exactly what he sounds
Mike
like.
Vogel, you don't even sound like that.
So after the air show, what do we have next? I think like a montage of basically of them just having a nice time,
right?
Yeah, they're having fun
While Tal
now.
Bachman's high above me, or she's so high, played in the background. Actually, I think
they go to a baseball game.
Yeah, they bowl.
Yeah, they're just having like a good time together. Then TJ Miller's like, it's been 10 dates and you guys haven't done it yet? What? But he's like, I'm nervous because she's so pretty with her hot body and I'm so skinny.
Which he is.
Mike Vogel has his monologue, I guess, his big moment where he's like, you gotta shave your balls.
Yeah, the monologue was more like, you're prepared though, man, right? You prepared? And he's like, well, she likes me. And he's like, no, I mean, you shave your balls.
And this next part and the hockey part are the longest parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Mike Vogel, we forgot the part where he takes his pants off.
And he's like, look at my balls.
Look at my beautiful shaven balls.
And the camera zooms in so close.
Yeah, you can't even tell that it's balls.
But you know.
And then his friend, like the chubby romantic one, shaves his balls for him after it's not going too well on his own.
Yeah, Jay Baruchel's like screaming in the bathroom like, my balls! Shaving hurts!
The guy shaves his balls for him, and it's a long moment of him blowing on his penis so that the ball hairs fall off.
Honestly,
fine.
I was laughing a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Just a little bit.
It's fine. You guys remember that music video? It was an Adam Sandler song, I know, but it was Nick Swardson singing it, and it was the I've got a secret, no one knows my secret. I trim my bush.
No, I do not remember
this sounds fake.
No, I swear it's real. I'll show it to you after.
Great.
It's a real song, and I saw it for the first time when I was like 12 or 13, and I laughed so hard because I didn't realize that bush meant like pubic hair.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, because the entire first verse is about how like no one gets to know his secret, and the chorus was I trim my bush, and I thought it was like, oh, his big secret is he just like trimmed like his hedges.
Lawn? Yeah.
And I laughed so hard, and then I realized what it was.
Oh, it's almost funnier the way you thought.
It is.
Like you build it up to be.
I
like
think that is really funny. Like an idea. I'd be like, it's not to have like a really dumb secret.
that anyone can know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not as funny the other way.
I de-weed my garden.
Yeah, it's funny.
That was a little funny.
But it was no secret here. It happened.
No,
We saw
no.
it.
He
happened.
shaved
We
those
saw it.
balls.
Ooh.
Then what?
And then
'Cause the
there's like
party
a
was before
party. Yeah. No. There's a party after.
For Molly's 21st.
Right. But
Yes,
before
yes.
she felt the balls. We'll cut that. But yes. So
Wait, take that again because it was definitely overlapped.
Right.
What were we talking
It's a
about?
party for Molly's sister's 21st birthday.
Yes.
Start that again.
There's a party for Molly's sister's 21st birthday.
Yes.
And at the party, first Jay Baruchel meets Molly's parents again, and they're like a little skeptical. And she tells them that he's in aviation for his job, which is a
Yeah.
lie in a way.
It's a lie. He's just a TSA worker. He wants to be a pilot.
He
but
didn't even go to college.
Yeah.
He dropped out, I think.
And look, he got a 10.
Yeah, he got a 10,
this
so
movie is-
But how? She's
just-
out of his league.
This movie is anti-college.
just goes to show you don't need to do anything and you'll get a hot chick.
Ooh, baby. And Cam, the ex-boyfriend's there, and he's like, well, she's got one defect. And he's like, what is it? He's like, that's something you're going to have to figure out on your own.
The first time I saw it, I nearly vomited because it was so fucking disgusting.
I called my mom and I cried.
I reclaimed Jesus as my Lord and Savior.
Gosh, I gotta get to church.
So they go back to, I guess, Molly's apartment, and they start getting down.
Oh, and
Hot
she
and
feels
heavy.
his balls, and she's like, "Wow, smooth."
Ooh, baby.
Is something that happens, yeah. And
Yeah.
And then he's like, look at me, I look bad. And she goes, can I show you something about myself? And he's like, please
Here
do.
comes the
And
defect.
you know what the defect was?
She's got a webbed toe.
She has
Ooh.
one webbed toe.
And he's like, Jesus Christ, you're perfect. And they have an argument, which I thought was not a badly
Right.
written scene.
No, not at
Right.
all.
I was a little impressed. I thought a lot of their points felt like honest and valid from like what they were going through.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like more or less how real people would argue in that moment and express their feelings. And it didn't feel like hokey.
No.
I thought that was like a good scene.
Which is
Yeah.
that he was upset that she was like too perfect, and why
Yeah,
did she go out
and-
with him? And she was upset because he keps putting her on a pedestal.
Like people always do.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason her ex-boyfriend, Cam, I guess, they ended up not working out was because he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And because of it, cheated on her because he was like, she's too perfect. No way will this last. Blah, 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 blah. She's too perfect. Like,
Yeah.
so then he becomes the problem. So that's what she is saying.
So it was well done. And of course, they end it by breaking things off.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets back with Marnie. So it's fine.
You
in
know,
like a really
consolation
weird mood.
prize.
But Ron, her boyfriend, is still there.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if they're still dating or if he's just there as
With
a
the
gag.
family, like
I
is
don't
this
know.
is this family's whole thing that they just take whatever boyfriend or girlfriend latches on and they're like, you're ours now.
The family sucks.
They're a bad family, but that's the point, I guess. So anyway, they're all Branson bound, as
Yeah,
you
on
can
the-
tell by their
going-
sweatshirts.
Yeah, to the airport, flying to Branson, which I looked up and is in Missouri.
No, thank you.
So what is this vacation?
TJ Miller gets on the plane and is like, dude, you can't do this. You are a 10. You're going to be fine. He takes off the plane. Jay Baruchel's still going to Branson. But then he decides, you know what? Fuck it. And he curses off everyone in his family, which was great because they deserved it. They're awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm getting off. And they're like, we're taking off now. So he
Yeah,
can.
he's like, if you leave, you will get a $25,000 fine if we open these doors. And so he sits back down after having cursed out his whole family in what was a very funny scene
This is-
for
yeah.
a not good movie.
Right, I
Yeah.
wish it were in a better movie.
Yeah.
Same with that argument scene. I wish these
Meanwhile,
were in better movies. Yes.
TJ Miller calls Kristen Ritter and is like, hey, you got to get Molly to fix this situation, blah, 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 blah. So she picks up Molly, brings her to the airport. They run through everything, and TJ Miller said something that I think we all agree was a little bit not great when he's like, yo, Jay Baruchel is like a spider, okay? He's more afraid of you than you are of him. You're going to have to fix this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I was
Like,
confused, and she was like okay with that. I was like, I don't understand what this is. Clearly, Jay Baruchel's character is the one who fucked up, but they're planning this whole thing where like she has to run through the airport for like the reconnection. It was very
It's
strange.
Like, well, it's like they forgot a scene because TJ Miller said to Kristen Ritter, like, look, it's us to blame. We both told them individually that it's not going to work out, and then it didn't work out. And I don't recall a Kristen Ritter, Alice Eve scene where she was like,
I think just generally the whole time they were just
well,
like,
yeah, but I don't know.
But they weren't even involved. The whole thing was like
they were missing
He fucked up,
one thing.
and then they were like, they have to be together. It wasn't even like Jay Baruchel had a realization. Like, he didn't until his friends told him.
True.
It was so weird. Like, in that moment, one of them's supposed to have a change of heart and be like, I was wrong. And then this one...
Nah, everybody's a prop for everybody else.
Yeah, it was so weird. And it was TJ Miller's realization because he... like asked a girl who he had thought was a 10 why it didn't work out, and she was like, because you always thought I was a 10 and wasn't, and was like being weird about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's Jay Baruchel.
What did work was not even work, but I guess the point in the end is that, like, Jay Baruchel did end up making the move on his own because he left his family and whatnot.
Right.
But it still felt like, and if I was in Molly's shoes, I'd be like, no, he can talk to me. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
He needs to prove that he's on a plane with another woman means he's not ready to step up yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Weird. But whatever.
But you know what? I am glad. Well, because in the end, yes, they get off the plane and then they meet at the airport and then they kiss. Nobody was like, I love you. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
It's not a Shakespearean comedy where they have to get married in the end.
True.
And they didn't, declare love for each other. So at least there's that semblance
a shred
of
realism. Yeah.
And
The soundtrack was good.
In the end, they get back together.
Yeah. No surprise there. No surprise
and
there.
then he surprises her by taking her up on a private plane because he's been taking piloting lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They literally fly off into the sunset.
And the movie's over.
Yep.
I don't know. This was just
Cold
like,
Hard Bitch by Jet was featured in this, which great song. Where did Jet go?
we're right here.
Hello, it's me, Jet.
And me, Jetty.
And the leader of the band,
Are
Mike
they
Vogel.
English?
What?
Are they English?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, why not?
Great
So the premise
band.
of this, yeah.
Where'd they go?
Are you gonna be my girl?
Oh, great song.
Gonna
So good.
be my girl.
No.
Okay. Because I'm out of your league.
Yeah, that's. Are you gonna be my girl? Yes, is what Steve would say to Jay Baruchel.
Wow.
Yeah, this was like dated humor. Who cares about the characters besides the two leads who I didn't hate?
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was like a waste of a lot of them. Weird cast. The family were some of the worst people in the world, which
Yeah.
actually was a plus point for the
plus,
film because
right.
they did that well.
Yeah.
But overall, I just found myself being like, "Is this? If I paid for this in a movie theater, I would
Which
be
I
like,
did.
Edward."
Well, I didn't because this came out when?
2010.
10? I didn't have money back then, so I didn't pay for it, but go on.
But yeah, I'd be like, "This sucks.
Yeah.
Why did I buy this?"
Yeah.
And we didn't buy this. It's on Netflix if you guys want to watch.
And it still was not worth it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and officially rate this puppy. It's the Meet Cute.
All right, let's rate this. And Edward, you had a little saucy idea.
Yeah, we're just going to rate it 1 out of 5 like they've been rating everybody this entire movie.
Yeah, it's a hot scale rating. It's a hot take and it's a hot scale rating.
Hot scale take. Scaly takes.
Ooh, I love fish. They're hot.
All right, see you guys next week.
All right, comedy, right?
Yeah. And sorry, that's last. First is chemistry.
Oh my God, I forgot. It's been a while. Chemistry. Like a 2?
Yeah, that's not a bad score.
I'll be honest. I'm actually gonna give it a 3.5.
Wow, that's really high.
For some reason, I thought they worked well together.
Yeah.
Personally, I took
I
it
just
out of there.
didn't see any conversation besides like I'm smiling and I'm blonde, and he was like,
know.
I'm Jay Baruchel.
I don't know. It just felt like their progression together felt natural even before they were like a thing.
I don't know.
yeah,
I
give
felt
me
like
a
she
3.
had zero personality come out. She was just like, I'm blonde.
Oh, she did have zero personality. But
yeah.
I don't know. Chemistry wise, I like them
Right.
together.
Okay, sure.
So yeah. Next is the best friends.
Now, once again, we've had disagreements in the past. How are we going to base...
In this, it's got to be T.J. Miller and the two friends.
Certainly, but how are we basing them as a best friend? Because I would give him a high score, but he's a disgusting person. Whereas you would give him a low score, I'm guessing, because he's a
Who
disgusting
are we talking
person.
about? TJ Miller? Oh, TJ Miller's the best friend. No, I actually think he's somewhere just like straight in the middle because
Okay.
he was like a character, but he also did his job. He was like pretty.
Yeah, it was
He
fine.
like, yeah. I mean, he wasn't like super. If he were like way
As opposed to our recent Dan Fogler versus Judy Greer argument.
Yeah, if he were like way funnier, he would actually be good because he was like there for his friend. He was just like a jerk, which is like fine. I
But
think
he wasn't like a bad guy. I guess.
No, and I think the best friend can be kind of a dick as long as they do their job and they're like a good person. Does that make sense?
You know what? In that way, I'm gonna give him a higher score. I'm gonna give him a 4 because
I was gonna say 3.5.
He did he was the guy who was like, "You're a 10, you're a 10," and then arranged for them to get back together. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, like 4. In a better movie and like. If he were just a little bit funnier, he might have been like a really good part.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I give him a 3 because for me, it has to go either one or the other way. It could be a really supportive friend and great all the way through, or it has to be a complete doof who like is just like a Dan Fogler type.
Right.
It's like, oh, they're almost like a foil of a best friend.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that works in a rom-com too. But I think sometimes being somewhere in between can be a fault. But in this case, it actually worked for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? Like a fault. Like sometimes it's like, if you can't commit to being one or the other, you just end up being not that much of an impactful character.
Like this movie kind of was.
I really think he could have been in a better movie. I think he would have been a higher score. But I have 3.5.
There's
I
obviously
think they should have. Yeah, I agree. They could have committed one or the other a little more, but it
didn't hurt him in my view.
Hurt him. Yeah.
Romance 0.5. There's nothing there.
Yeah, it wasn't really romantic at all.
I will say this. I'm going to give it a 1.5, which isn't a high score, but it is, in a way, a believable sort of different kind of romance where one person is really trying hard to keep the relationship alive, but in that way is becoming a bit too needy.
Right.
And so the other person kind of backs off. So it's not... It's a different kind of relationship, but it is a different kind of romance that some of us, I'm sure, have experienced.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's realistic, and so I'm giving it a higher score.
I'm giving it a 1. There wasn't no attempt at romance, but I wasn't like, aw.
Right.
There's nothing cute about it, so yeah, 1.
And finally, comedy. I think maybe it a 1.5.
I think we laughed more than a 1.5. I'm going to do a 2.
Yeah,
because I did laugh out loud a few times.
I felt that. I think a lot of the comedy also came from the performances. I think the written comedy was pretty bad, but I think sometimes just like little reactions to things.
That's still the
were
comedy.
funny. I know, but it's like it just felt like for that. I don't know. Just still gonna give it a low one. I did not laugh, but I barely laughed.
You did laugh though. I heard you
a few times.
A 2. Just it was fine.
Yeah,
I have no qualms.
So we ready?
Yeah, let me add these puppies up. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
What's Jay Baruchel up to right now?
Oh, let's find out. I like him.
Is that show still on?
No, I wish it were. What was that show called?
Man Seeking Woman,
Oh,
right?
that was so funny. It
show.
did not get like what it should have. Let me go on his IMDb. I like him. Jay Baruchel wife was the first recommended result if I started typing his name.
Jay Baruchel Bulls, question mark?
Yeah. Does he have his balls shaved? I need to know. He's in post-production for Random Acts of Violence, where he plays the role of Ezra.
Oh, wait. He was the voice of How to Train Your Dragon guy, so he just did that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry
He's pretty busy making money from that.
Yeah.
And we've got our score.
Oh, hey.
This film gets. I guess it's gonna be different because it's not gonna be from 1 to 5. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. This film
Good.
gets 9.17 out of on the scale.
Out of
What?
Out
20.
Of 20?
So do the math so we know what it's out of 10.
Or 4.58 out of 10.
You know what?
Yeah, that's the one.
Or
Oh, you're going to keep going.
45.8% of one rating of a person's
So-
attractiveness.
Stop.
It's the Jay Baruchel of movies.
Yeah, this skewed Jay Baruchel.
Yeah.
What was the actual number?
4.58.
Okay, out of 10. Yeah, that adds up.
So out of Alice Eve, this was a Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, so to speak.
Great.
Oh, baby, baby, baby.
Wow. Guys, this is a nice 45-minute episode. It's pretty
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
I like that.
So from the beginning.
Great.
So,
Alice Eve is a
he's
hotshot
a
lawyer.
TSA agent.
That was a stupid bit.
Yeah, for all of us here at the Meet Cute, thank you for listening. If you have any recommendations of films you want to hear us do, it's an audio medium.
Or see us do. We'll live stream it without the audio.
Yeah, just to you for $15.
Or if you want something we've done in the past, like like improv or rom-com, let us know. We'll do that again.
Yeah, reach out to us at meetcutecast on Twitter and Instagram or at themeetcutecast@gmail.com. We're always listening. For everyone at the Meet Cute, my name is Zach.
I'm Haley.
I'm Eddie P.
Oh, I don't know if I can date you.
I'm so sorry.
You are on Webster.
I'm a 5. I'm